Hey guys, welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. Today I want to go over Rexxar. Now, as you know, Rexxar is one of my favourite heroes in World of Warcraft, and I've played a few games with him, and he's just so much fun. He's exactly what I want him to be, and I think he's incredibly strong. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go over his abilities, then I'm going to hop into try mode and show you what talents I pick for, in my opinion, the most fun build and the kind of most new to Rexxar friendly build. Although not necessarily the best build, of course he is new, so the meta hasn't really settled yet. But I wanted to tell everyone and inform everyone just of some little bugs, arguably some intricacies with Rexxar's playstyle, and particularly the way Rexxar's mechanics work with things like health globes and killing blows and stuff like that. So first off, let's go over his abilities. So Rexxar's first ability, his Q, is Spirit Swoop. It is a a mid-range skill shot, which goes in a straight line, damages everything it makes contact with, and slows it for 30% for 2 seconds. This is a small amount of damage. Even as it scales into the late game, it's not that big of a hit. So you're going to want to use this just for the slow and to get that last little bit off. You can spec this to be very good at clearing minions, but to be honest, all I've really used it for was either to secure kills, to scout into specific locations like bushes or whatever, because the cooldown's short and the mana cost is quite short, and to just get slows and maybe secure a kill or two. It's not a very good engaging tool. If you want to engage, you want to use the next ability, which is Misha Charge. So with Misha Charge, it's actually a skill shot cast from where Misha is. So as a result, you need to be very good at how to use Misha, and I'll go over that in a bit. But you can position it from where Misha is, a skill shot, you can angle it all lines, and Misha dashes forward, stunning everything it hits for 1.25 seconds. You can spec this to be very good. This, in my opinion, from what I can see so far, is your most important ability. It's a very lengthy stun, and it's surprisingly easy to hit. It can hit all 5 members of the team. You can cast it from the bushes, and because of the way Misha works, you can kind of let Misha just appear before you appear, and I'll go over that as the in a second. And you can really use it to score some really good engages. And this is going to be like your big ability now. It has got a fairly long cooldown, but the mana cost isn't too bad. So you're really going to use this a lot. And try if you can to stun the backline. Because Misha is independent, it's actually surprisingly difficult for the enemy team to deal with Misha and you at the same time. And it's unwise to actually try and kill Misha unless you can really burst her down in the first 2 seconds. So as a result, what you can normally do sometimes is you can get Misha in the back line using this ability, and you can stun their whole DPS, which just opens up some crazy combos. And the last one, fairly simple one, is E, heals Misha for a small amount, but you can spec it to be a massive amount over 5 seconds, or in some case it scales up to be 10 seconds, and it just heals for Misha for over half her health bar. So you can use this just before fight if you know she's going to be engaging, you're expecting a lot of damage to come off on Misha, or you can use it if Misha's low, but this does have a surprisingly high mana cost. This is going to be 15 mana more than your lowest mana spell. So you're going to want to use this conservatively unless you're fine with mana, you've got a Malfurion on the team or something. Try and use this sparingly. And 2 ults. Unleash the Boars. Now, I like this ability. You send it in a direction, and then it deals damage to everything, revealing them, which is quite a big deal, because you don't have to have vision of them to hit them with this ability. It will reveal before. So if there's someone in the bushes, and you know they're in the bushes, but because you've seen them go into them, but you don't actively have vision on them, you can cast this on the bushes, and it'll hit them, and it should, or it will, reveal them however they are. And of course it deals damage and slows them for 5 seconds. It's a lengthy slow. For 40% for 5 seconds is a big slow. And you have Bestial Wrath, which means Misha hits like a bit of a truck. In fact, quite a lot of a truck. And basically means you have to deal with Misha or perish. Yes, so as you can probably tell, if you don't know anything about Rexxar, he actually is 2 heroes. You control Misha as you control Rexxar, and you have to work the 2 of them together very efficiently if you want to get the most out of Rexxar. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into try mode, and I'm going to give you guys a few tips and talk about a spec which I've been playing about with, which I think is a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's go into it. So here we are in the try mode arena. Now the first thing I want to talk about, the first thing I want to let everyone know about, is Rexxar is ever so slightly bugged. He's not working as intended, at least I hope not, because if he is working as intended, this is awful. However, I am going to go over it, and I hope I'm 99% sure it's a bug. But anyway, so Rexxar's first talent is Hunter-Gatherer. Now this works essentially like Regen Master or Reanimation or whatever it's called on your heroes. When you are affected by a Regen Globe, you gain a stack. That stack means that your health will passively regenerate ever so slightly faster, stacking infinitely. So you can get, by the end of it, you can get like 50 stacks, and your health is regenerating at a ridiculous rate. Rexxar has this as well. It affects both Rexxar and Misha. However, it's slightly bugged. That means the bug is that if you pick it up or Misha picks it up, it works fine. You gain a stack. If someone else on your team picks it up and you are affected by it, you don't gain a stack. So you can, like, Teknoaxe or whoever it is, can run up to the regen globe, pick it up. It goes on to both you and Misha, because Misha gets affected by that stuff. It doesn't count as a stack. You just won't get a stack for it. You'll get healed by it, but you won't get a stack for it. So as a result, that's really bugged. And as a result, you gain hardly any stacks throughout the whole game because of this talent. So I would really recommend not going for this talent until that's fixed. Instead, go for either Grizzled Bear, which is good. It gives Misha a little bit of a block. I would love it if Rexxar got that block as well. I think it's a little bit of an oversight that he didn't get that block. I think that's actually quite a big deal that he doesn't get block. It only affects Misha. You can get Flare if there's a stealth, or you can even get mana if you run out of mana. But I would say Grizzled Bear probably going to be your best chance, your best level 1 talent to pick at the moment. When that gets fixed, Hunter Gatherer will be better. I'm 99% sure it will be, and I'm 99% sure it's a bug. But at the moment, Grizzled Bear is going to be your one. So, as you can see here, when I right-click, it is moving both Rexxar and Misha. There is not a control group like the Lost Vikings have. There's none of that. It's just as you move Misha as well. A couple of things to be aware of is that Misha does move ever so slightly faster when you are mounted. She moves faster than you do. So as a result, if you're running a long distance, Misha will arrive there before you. Just be aware of this. I don't think there's anything bad about that. I think that's actually quite good. And when Misha is on attack mode, she just moves faster. When she's on follow mode, she moves faster as well. It's just how she moves. She moves incredibly quickly. So just be aware of that. So a couple of little things that how you to really work with Misha. As you can see that I moved a tiny little bit and Misha's not moving because it's only a small amount. So there's little things that I have to be aware of. So when you right click a target, as you can see that I marked it. Now after I marked it, because she's currently in attack mode, because even though I moved back, she still went to attack it, and she will continue to attack it until she's taken off attack mode. Now you take her off attack mode or onto attack mode by using his trait. Now please bear in mind that the whistle is follow, and this icon, which is the point I guess, is attack. What icon you are seeing is the stance that she's currently not in. There's only 2 stances to be aware of, so don't really worry about it. While she's in follow mode, I can click, I can do whatever I want, and Misha will not attack. Like, even if I start attacking something, Misha won't attack. So this is probably useful if you're worried that you're going to get entirely ganked, just bust out and killed, and you don't want Misha to die. Things like sieging forts or preparing to retreat is quite a good instance of this. Sometimes if you're taking a boss camp, and you don't want Misha to take any unnecessary damage, you can put her on follow. Her damage won't be that big of a deal, I imagine, and it keeps her at high health. All kinds of other things. But as soon as you put her into attack mode, she will start attacking all kinds of things. So that there is just to give you an idea of what Q looks like. I'll give you a better idea of that in a second. And yeah, so this is how far the Q is. As you can see, it hits all kinds of things and slows them, dealing a little bit of damage. So one of the things you really need to get to grips with on Rexxar, in my opinion, the quicker the better, is using Misha to her full potential. Now I don't necessarily mean just like getting those cheap, arguably early kills or whatever. It's really understanding where Misha is and how to use Misha. So as a kind of example of how to overextend and how to recover from it, if you are pushing someone like this and all of a sudden you find them and then all of a sudden you're chasing them and you're in the tower zone, you'll move back. Oh no, Misha's still attacking. Be wary and put her onto follow mode. And as you can see, she runs back really quickly when she's on follow mode. So you can afford to overextend, and you can kind of be a little bit cheeky about it. Like now, here's a perfect example. You can score a little dive, maybe put men to put up, and then just get a follow and run her back. But bear in mind, like she can still die, and when she dies, she does award 25% experience to the enemy team. So similar to a Murky, Misha does award experience. That's a little note for if you're playing against Rexxar as well. Don't be afraid to just farm Misha. A lot of inexperienced Rexxars won't really understand how to use Misha to the most effect, and if you get Misha a couple of times, you can get half a kill's worth. And as I'm a big advocate of farming Murky in lane, there's nothing wrong with that. So farming Misha in lane, nothing wrong with that either. So just be aware of that, and really get to grips with how Misha works. Don't be afraid to switch between the 2 modes very, very quickly. I like to play Rexxar incredibly defensively. In fact, I like to play Rexxar not as I would play a warrior at all, and I'll get more on that in a second. This is like, I think I play with Rexxar not necessarily the way it was designed, but I think the best way at the moment on ladder, whatever, in solo queue. At level 4, I really like Crippling Talons. This increases the slow amount and its duration. It means that it's now a remarkably good slow. Before it's a pretty good slow, now it's really good. Now you're actively going to see, going to get yourself into kill positions that you otherwise wouldn't have been in. So don't be afraid to use this one. A couple of things to talk about on this talent, on this tree, is the Hungry Bear. If Misha is getting farmed, if you are having trouble keeping Misha alive, you can put Hungry Bear on. It means she can go and farm a minion wave, and she'll get loads and loads and loads of health back. That's fine. I don't really like taking flight. Again, mana isn't so much of an issue, and you're never really going to want to have that extra little bit of range on Spirit Swoop. Easy Prey, kind of good, but you really shouldn't be trying to deal with minions. Rexxar's not very good in lane. He's a good lane bully, but not actually good at clearing minions. At least I haven't found a way to make him good with this build. So at level 7, this is where I'm going to piss some people off. This is where people are going to call me absolutely wrong. A lot of people like throwing axes. A lot of people are like, oh, 25% extra range on your basic attacks. That's incredible. It means you can hit them from miles away. And yeah, while you can hit them from miles away, it doesn't really matter. Rexxar doesn't have that. Rexxar's got a less health pool than Thrall. But if you're good enough at it, it shouldn't be a problem. Thrall's a melee assassin. Like, you're going to have less HP than them. You're ranged. As you can see, like this is Rexxar's basic attack range without that talent. It's pretty long, and I don't like taking it because it means that you have further separation between you and Misha, and I like to keep Misha surprisingly close. So the move I go for is Blood of the Rhino. This means that Misha becomes a basically unkillable tank. The heal that you get off lasts for so long and ends up healing for so much that it's incredibly difficult to kill Misha, and AoEs like Jaina's or Kael'thas's, they just won't kill her, and it's actually really difficult to kill her off. A lot of people have been looking at Aspect of the Beast, because if she gets into a team and starts hitting them loads, and if you take the Hungry Bear talent, you can really get a lot of Misha charges off, which is, you know, yeah, you can, but I don't particularly like it. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get Misha onto quite low health, so I can really show you how this, come on, attack it, so I can really show you how long Blood of the Rhino does actually last for. Don't die! Perfect. That's a Malfurion regrowth. That's a mend pet. Like, it's, as you can see, she just gets healed for so much, so quickly, and it's only like a 10-second cooldown. So you can really just throw this up all the way throughout a team fight. And actually, no, that was before I took it. So basically, you can continuously have mend pet up if you take this talent. I swear I could have taken it. Anyway, doesn't matter. So if you use it, and then when it's on cooldown, you use it again, you can just have Misha continuously healing for like 100 health. Which means that Misha's just so difficult to kill. And if they waste time trying to kill her, if you follow this build through to completion, they're really going to get punished for it. The positions that they're going to find themselves in are just going to be so unfavourable because you can just heal Misha for an insane amount. Means that like you're really going to get a decent edge on your opponents in that when it gets to the late game. At level 10, you can take Unleash the Boars. I mean, it's good if you want to follow up some people, or if you want that really nice engage or disengage or whatever. It's a good all-round talent. I just like Bestial Wrath. I think Bestial Wrath just turns Misha into a massive damage powerhouse, and that combined with the kind of unkillableness that Misha does get with this build means that she's just incredibly strong. At this point, Misha will start to hit for more than your basic attacks. Please bear in mind that when Bestial Wrath is not up, Rexxar's basic attacks will deal about 50% more damage than Misha's basic attacks will. I'm just making sure that everyone's aware of that. So, but with Bestial Wrath up, she will deal significantly more than Rexxar does. So you really have to kind of look at and work on keeping Misha in not necessarily just alive, but in a good position. So at level 13, again, this is going to make some people angry. But a lot of people like Wildfire Bear. A lot of people actually like Thrill of the Hunt. I've been looking at it and I'm just like, yeah, it's cool because it means you can chase people down. But I don't really think you need that. I think that if you're the warrior and you're trying to chase people down, you're not going to have an incredibly good time, and you don't need more of that. You have the stun, you have the slow, you don't need more ability to chase people down. So what I take is Bare Necessities. I have experimented with Barkskin, and it is incredibly good if Misha's engaging and getting bursted down, or even just getting bursted for a little bit of damage. Take Barkskin, throw Menpet up, and she's going to take a lot of cooldowns from people, like blizzards and flame strikes and whatever, and it's going to hit for basically nothing, and then you're going to heal that all the way straight away, and it just instantly puts them on the back foot. But Bare Necessities has the best name, and as a result is the best talent. And what it means is that you can cast W to get in a more favourable position, to get a more, I like to refer to it as a more money W off. So basically you can charge up here and then charge down there and miss him both times. So basically, so what you can do is you can Bare Necessities to one spot and then Bare Necessities back through them. Obviously you have to miss. If you don't miss, if you hit them, it doesn't work. But it means that if you do miss like that, you can get another one off. If they're just on the edge of range, you can quite often just hit them, because it means that if they're running away, you can just hit them with an ability and get them. Bestial Wrath, slay them.
So I really like Bare Necessities. I think Bare Necessities is a great ability. I think it's actually really strong. The ability to kind of get into a better position to organise the W, as opposed to just putting it all in one go. Obviously, on that level, you can take Wildfire Bear. If Misha's just sitting in the enemy team and you're winning, and you're just winning the team fights anyway, and you don't need the extra CC, that was the wrong ability. I meant to cast W in that direction. But I really like Bare Necessities. I think it's a more fun talent to choose. You can get like 4-man, 5-man stuns off in that position. If you miss the first one, and then all of a sudden you find yourself, oh, hang on, there's 3 in the second one. Oh, look, I've hit 3. Oh, look, they're all dead. It happens a surprising amount. Like, I was doing it, and I was like, this won't work. I'll always either hit someone or I'll never be in a good position. And if you're good with it, like by the end of it, I was moving Misha into great positions and always hitting 2 people with it. So really try it out. It's a really good talent. At level 60, and I imagine a lot of people will expect me to go with Critical Care. No. I don't like Critical Care. I think Critical Care is actually relatively bad. I think if Misha gets below 50% health, you shouldn't be engaging with her anymore. You should just be looking to kind of just keep her alive, and not actually trying to get any more kills or anything like that. So the ability that I like to take again, Spirit Swoop, while it's kind of good, it's only you that gains the attack speed. If it was you and Misha, maybe I'd consider it. Primal Intimidation is really good if you don't have another tank, but again, I'm going to get to how I play Rexxar later, and that's why I don't like taking this talent. So I take his Feign Death. It's Ice Block. It's a level 16 Ice Block, which of course is a bit of a shame, because at level 16 I would like to get a more powerful talent, but I think that taking Bare Necessities is a kind of nice, powerful talent to go with. So I like Feign Death. When you Feign Death, I'll show you what that looks like when I get in this bush. Actually, no, I'm going to get in the middle lane. Cast it, you idiot. So, as you can see, he does that, like, overly exaggerated death thing. If you've played, you'll know about this. Puts you in an Ice Block stasis state where you cannot take any damage and you cannot be targeted by anything, and then you get up. During this time, you'll be able to right click to directly control Misha, and you'll be able to cast W to stun with Misha, and you cannot cast Mend Pet during this duration, but you can do all the other stuff. So you can do really cool stuff with Misha at that point. You can avoid taking a big hit, and of course if you are untargetable but Misha isn't, and you land a 4-man stun and then get out of it and then cast Bestial Wrath, and you can get some crazy cool things going off. So I think Feign Death works really nicely in this build. And then at level 20, I like Spirit Bond. It means that Rexxar becomes more difficult to kill, and when Bestial Wrath is up, most of the time people are just going to look to try and kill Rexxar. Because it's like, oh, well, Misha's hitting like a truck. If we kill if we kill Rexxar, Misha goes away with him. So let's just kill Rexxar. Makes it actually quite difficult to kill Rexxar when Bestial Wrath is up. Can take Hardened Skin if you really want to play like a classic warrior, but again, I really don't think Rexxar should be played like a warrior at all. And you can take Frenzy of Kalimdor if I like it. It's only 10% more damage, so I think it's a joke. 10% more damage? Why is that a level 20 talent? It should be like 100% more damage, or 50% more damage, or 20% more damage even. But 10% more damage is just a bit of a joke, so I'm just like, no. The 20% slow for 1.25 seconds, actually kind of cool. But again, with the way you take this build, the Crippling Talons, the stun, the double chance to hit the stun, you really shouldn't need another slow. So I take Spirit Bond. Yeah, as you can see, it means that Bestial Wrath lasts longer, and you get healed for a significant amount, a surprisingly high amount. So, right, now we get into the difficult bit. I don't play Rexxar like a warrior. I don't think you should play Rexxar like a warrior. I don't think Rexxar is a very good warrior. I play Rexxar as a more classic MOBA support. What I mean by that is normally in supports in this game, they have to heal. That's what they do, they heal. Like, apart unless your name's Tassadar, in which case you're not really a support again. But so the way I play him is I play him as kind of like, oh yes, he deals quite a bit of damage, but he's not a tank. Neither is Misha. Neither of them are tanks. What they are is they're CC machines, and they deal a surprising amount of damage. They can deal a surprising amount of burst, and Misha can just get in the enemy team and really start to wreak havoc on them. But he's not a tank, so basically the way I do it is I sit around up at the back line, I click, Misha goes in, lands a stun, lands a Q, Mend Pet goes up, and I hit the wrong ability there, so that means I'm not going to get a kill, but we get the kill anyway because the AI is dumb. So, you play him, bite on the back, you bully people in lane, you make sure you land the stuns, and then you land the Spirit Swoop, and then you get Misha out as a kind of a poke way of playing her. Don't play her like a like a warrior. I can't stress this enough. Don't play her like your classic warrior. So if Misha's getting hit, just throw men pet up and just continuously attack. It's a bad trade. If they're hitting Misha, it's worth it for you every time. It's worth it for you because even if it's like when they're attacking Misha, you got to think as if they're attacking Murky. Oh, okay, they kill Murky, but it doesn't matter because I've taken half his health off, and half of his health pool is worth more than one Murky death. So that's how you have to play Misha at this point, kind of a little bit. So as you can see now, we're level 20, just why I want to reiterate this point I made earlier. Misha has about 400 health more than Rexxar, still not a significant amount, but still a quite nice amount. So Rexxar can take a little bit of punishment, Misha can take a little bit more, but neither of them are going to be like Johanna, Diablo, Leoric status with that much health. They just won't be. So play both of them. I almost want to say her because it feels like you're playing Misha a lot of the time with Rexxar also kind of there. But I kind of like that, in all honesty. I think that when you're talking about it, you tend to talk about Misha a lot, but once you're actually playing, it does feel like you're playing Rexxar and not just Misha. But when you're talking about it, you end up talking about Misha a lot. So, play both of them, play him, like a kind of land the CC, get in the middle of them, but don't expect to be that kind of over-tankiness Leoric Johanna kind of state that you come to expect, quote-unquote, from warriors. Really play it quite differently. Look to get used to how they control. It is surprisingly awkward how they control. But once you get down, you will end up finding yourself and putting yourself in great positions a lot of the time. So, like, here's an example of what to do. You're running away, and Misha's going to get there in front of you. I think that's amazing. I really, really like that. It seems to me like when Misha's behind you, she gains a burst of movement speed until a specific range in front of you, and then she loses it, as you can see here. So if Misha's running towards you, she's going to move faster, and then she's going to move faster like a little distance away from you as well. That's I haven't seen that anywhere, but that's basically what I can see. So if you mount up, Misha will run away, and when you're mounted, Misha gains a boost of movement speed. But she continues to run faster, and it doesn't look like that slows down at the same range. It looks like it goes a little bit longer. Just things like that. You need to play them to really get a grasp of how that works. But I think they're great characters. I honestly think that if you play them correctly, they're top tier. A lot of people say, oh, they just get countered because stealthers or divers just dive on Rexxar. It's like, well, then you just put Misha on follow, and then just put him on attack, and then all of a sudden it's like a 2-on-1 because Rexxar can do a surprising amount of damage. And then you can just mend pet, land a stun. You can put Misha in between the diver and Rexxar, and then you can do like there's an incredibly high skill cap on Rexxar, and I think it's unfair to judge him based on day one. Like, massively, I think it's massively unfair to judge him based on day one. But try this build out, you'll have a lot of fun. I'm kind of thinking of calling it the Beastmaster build, because everything you pick is revolving around making Misha better. Like, you take block, the only one you don't take is crippling talons. But even that is making Misha better, because it means Misha can get into more attack range. And then of course you take Misha heal, Misha wrath, Misha stun, Feign Death, which again is kind of like, okay, I stay alive so Misha can stay alive, and then you take Misha Wrath even more. It's good. Give it a go. Give Rexxar a go if you haven't. He's an awful lot of fun. Thanks for watching. If you disagree, if you agree with this build, please let me know. Any suggestions you have, please let me know in the comments below to improve this build or just to change this build. Thanks very much for watching. I have been Mr. G, and I will see you next time.